The Big East tournament final is set. Creighton, St. John. It is amazing what Rick Pitino has done with this program in 2 years, man. Brought them back to the promised land. Their first Big East tournament final appearance since the turn of the century. It's been 25 years for, since they've been in this game. Creighton, on the other hand, um, after a tough win against, they've had a tough path. I ain't gonna lie. The double overtime game to the Paul, and then the tough win against UConn. This is a hell of a match we got on our hands, Tariq. How you feeling about it, man?
Um, St. John's won the first matchup, 79-73.
Hmm.
In that game, hold on, I just have to remember something.
Wait, no, Creighton won the first matchup. Yeah, Creighton won the first matchup, 56-57.
Oh,
St.
shit, they
John's
played in
won the
December.
last matchup.
I didn't realize they played in December. That's my fault.
St.
Um,
John's won the last matchup,
okay,
70,
Creighton won the
79,
first game.
73.
Creighton won first game. RJ Lewis went 4-15. Jay Richmond 4-10. Woodger went 3 of 11.
Hmm.
Kalkbrenner had 16 on 12 shots.
Hmm.
Ashworth had 18, 6 of 18 shooting. McAndrew had 5. Neal had 6. This was a very low scoring game, and this was in Omaha. So both teams won on their home courts, which makes sense. The second game was 79-73, and Stephen Ashworth had 23 in that game, so averaging about 20.5 or something like that. You averaged 23 and 18 against them. Um, RJ Lewis had 23 and 14 on 6 of 17 shooting. Kadari Richmond had 19 and 10 on 7 of 18 shooting. Um, so not super efficient from the stars in those games. Um, I expect St. John's to shoot the ball better. I'm curious about Creighton. Like you said, they've had a tough road. They made their road pretty tough, though. I will say the DePaul game shouldn't have been that difficult of a game.
No,
Respect to DePaul, but you shouldn't have had to go to two overtimes to beat them. Two of your star players had to play 45 plus minutes, damn near. So you really are gonna need to make sure that they rest and recover the right way. Sometimes these kinds of days can help a team, and then they're just in such a rhythm that they continue to play well. Sometimes the tired legs just get to them, and I'm curious to see if that happens. I hope it doesn't because I want to see a good game. St. John's won 8 games in a row. They beat Butler and Marquette to get to the championship. Like we said, Creighton beat DePaul and UConn. I'm looking at the Zuby Ejiofor and Mark Kalkbrenner matchup,
oh for sure,
and
cinema.
I'm curious to see between. So you would probably go Kadari Richmond and RJ Lewis, and then it's Stephen Ashworth and Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Yeah,
It,
yup,
then you're looking at Jemiah Neal versus basically probably Aaron Scott in
yep.
terms of either Aaron Scott slash Simeon Wilcher. Depends on the game, which one um, is more effective or more has a bigger impact on the game. I'm looking at that at those matchups, but I'm also looking at the 3 point shot. Creighton shoots the three ball way better than St. John's does. They shoot at 34%. Ryan Carpenter shoots 35. Stephen Ashford shoots 37. Um, McAndrew shoots 35. Trout shoots 39. Zugic shoots 35. Ryan Neal shoots 30, but he's capable of making threes. Um, and then St. John's as a team shoots 30%. So I'm looking to see if Creighton can use the 3 point shots to their advantage. And then I'm also looking at St. John's to try to create some turnovers. Creighton is a team that doesn't turn the ball over a ton, but St. John's averages 9 steals a game. So I'm curious to see which team's identity uh, overtakes the others.
Yeah, definitely seeing what team comes to the forefront and seeing what team takes control of the game. Something to add here. St. John's is undefeated at the crib. We all know Madison Square Garden is their home court for most of their games. Um, they've played phenomenal in this tournament. They've played phenomenal all season. I really think they come out. I really think they come out and start the game on 10. They have the talent to do so. They can get off to a hot start. Um, I am interested in seeing some of these matchups, especially the Kalkbrenner at Zuby Ejiofor um matchup. That is going to be cinema. That is going to be something to stay tuned into. I'm definitely looking to see what type of game RJ Lewis has. Um, also Stephen Ashworth, but the guy Jemiah Neal might be able to steal the show once again in this game. It's just kind of that environment for him to do so. He's done it time after time. He did it in this game, in this past game against UConn. The game against DePaul, he struggled, but I mean, he's just that guy you can't count out, you know. So, interested to seeing how St. John's defense decides to try to limit some of the star power on Creighton. That's because St. John's, they do have one of the better defenses in the nation. We all know that Patino press is real. So, um, definitely looking forward to seeing that. The line is not out yet for this game at the time of recording, but I can imagine that St. John's has the upper hand here, and the odds are in their favor. Um, any predictions from you, Tariq, as far as how you think this game will go?
I'm also looking at Jackson McAndrew for Creighton. Um, he's a pretty good barometer of whether or not they win a game. Um, Granted, they still won against DePaul, but he went 2 for 12 in that game. But he went 5 of 7 against Butler, 5 of 8 against Seton Hall. He went 1 of 6 against DePaul. They won that game, but it's DePaul. He went 1 of 7 against Georgetown. 1 of 4 against St. John's the last time out, or the last time that they played. Um, so he's really the barometer. I feel like at times it's like, all right, if he's shooting the ball well, they're almost never going to lose. If he makes 3 to 4 threes a game or in a game, that gives them a real legitimate chance to beat almost anybody in the country because you know what you're getting from Brennan, you know what you're getting from Ashworth, and if Jemiah Neal's got to go in, McAdoo's just the cherry on top. And then when all four of those players have it going, that's when you can mix in Trout and Zugic and things like that. So um, I'm gonna lean towards St. John's. I think they've been the better team all season. I think they have the better defense, they have the better identity, and they're also at home. Um, but with the way that Creighton played today, the way they shot the ball today, um, they have as good a chance as any to make this game super close. And then once it gets to the down to the wire, you really never know. It just comes down to who can make the most plays at the end of the game, and they both have players that can do that. Um, I think St. John's will be able to slow down Stephen Ashworth. I think they can look at some things that UConn did today. He only got 7 shots up today. Um, and he wasn't bad. He was efficient in those shots. He was 4 of 7, 2 of 4 from 3. But they really bottled him up off that pick and roll. He likes to come off the pick and roll and shoot the ball. And they didn't really allow that. I'm looking to see if St. John's going to do some of the same things, or if they're going to try to focus on Kalkbrenner and just see what happens with the perimeter. But yeah, I would lean towards St. John's in this game.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards St. John as well. They're just a better team in my opinion. They got the Big East Player of the Year and RJ Lewis. They got two guys that are on the Big East first team, and RJ Lewis and Zuby Ejiofor, and they're coached by Rick Pitino, who is turning this program around, as I mentioned time after time. But definitely with the odds are in their favor. With the odds being in their favor, them playing at home, them having an upper hand, them being arguably the better team amongst the two, I'm going with St. John's in this game as well. Um, but regardless of the outcome of this game, we'll be here on the Sleepers Media YouTube channel recapping the final of this star-studded Big East tournament final.